Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Dennis Brown, and I want to welcome you to another Freight Broker Bootcamp to live. Talking too fast. I'm excited, you can tell, because today I'm going to share with you the number one reason why most freight brokers and freight agents suck at sales. Okay, so that's the training. But for those of you that have logged in early, that have joined me early, you're in for a treat. I'm going to be doing some giveaways. Okay, I'm going to give away at least 2 cash prizes of $50. Okay, so hang tight if you want to be a part of those giveaways. The training is going to start at 12, so we're about 15 minutes early. If you're joining me early and you don't want to be a part of that, just mute us out. If you do want to be a part of the giveaway, I'll explain how that's going to work, how you can win $50. And then we're going to do the live training. And then after the live training, we're going to do some Q&A as always, okay? So thank you once again for joining me. Appreciate everybody being here. Let's jump into the giveaway so that we have enough time. And then, again, we will do the training. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some shout outs before the training if we have a little bit of time. So for those of you that don't know, or maybe you do know, about a month or about 2 months ago, maybe, I launched what's called the Freight Broker Bootcamp Audio Experience Podcast. Now, it's an audio-only podcast, which means that you can listen to it on your iPhone or your Android phone or even on your desktop or in your car, and it's audio only. So if you're driving or working out or walking or wherever, I launched the Freight Broker Bootcamp Audio Experience Podcast. It's a free program. It costs you absolutely nothing. If you're a member of Bootcamp, great. You can add it to the arsenal. If you're not and you're just interested in learning how to become a freight broker or freight agent, you can check that out at Freight Broker Bootcamp Audio Experience, wherever you listen to a podcast. But today, here's what you got to do if you want to qualify for the $50. If you are an iPhone user, okay, like me, I've had since the original iPhone, and we could debate iPhone versus Android versus all these different operating systems, but I'm an iPhone guy, right? So if you have an iPhone, here's what you got to do. Go in to your iPhone, go into the podcast app. You'll see it's a little purple app on podcast. And all you have to do is search for Freight Broker Bootcamp, and the podcast will come up. All you have to do is subscribe and then do a quick rate and review. Apple Podcast is the only podcast app that allows you to do rating and review, okay? So you got to subscribe to the podcast, okay, using the Apple Podcast app. Whoa, you can just hear it. One of these podcasts just launched. Sorry about that. So go into the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone, search for Freight Broker Bootcamp, subscribe, follow the podcast, and then do a quick rate and review. And then it'll take you literally 15 seconds to do all this, okay? And then come back into the stream here and let me know that you subscribed on Apple, rate and review, subscribed and rated review on Apple. Those people that do that, those are who are going to qualify for a chance to win $50. And then I'm going to do the same thing for Android users, okay? So if you want a chance to win $50, all you got to do is subscribe and rate and review on the podcast app for Apple, okay? Freight Broker Bootcamp Audio Experience, it pops up as number 1 if you just type the term Freight Broker Bootcamp. And I don't even know if you guys can see it or not, but that's what the, there it is. There's the logo. You can see it. Matter of fact, here's the audio.
Hi, guys. This is Dennis Brown with Freight Broker.
There you go. That's an example of one of the podcasts that is uploaded. So what I've done is I've taken the best of the best of the best trainings, things that I've done on webinars, things that I've done in private coaching programs, my YouTube, a lot of my best YouTube content, and I've edited it down into just the best of the best of the best. So you can go in there and consume that audio only. For the Apple contest, all you got to do is go into your phone and then come back in here and type Apple, subscribed, rate, and review. You got to let me know that you subscribed on Apple and you rated and reviewed. It's the only way that I'm going to be able to pick a winner. Okay, so you have to do Apple, subscribe, rate, and review, because I'm going to do an Android one. And if I don't know if it was Apple, I can't pick you. Okay, because I'm going to randomly scroll down through here and I need to know that you subscribed on Apple. So do that really quick. And while we're doing this, just so you guys know, those that are joining me a couple minutes late here, today we're going to go over the training. We're going to start that in a little bit right after these giveaways. And the training is the number one reason why most freight brokers and freight agents suck at sales. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to explain to you my entire theory on this. And I think it's going to make a lot of sense because there's a lot of misconceptions out there about what it takes to be successful in sales. And, I think there's a lot of other coaches and training programs that teach you certain tactics that they propose are these winning tactics that are going to help you to grow a successful and highly profitable freight broker business. And while some of those tactics, I guess, are okay, it's much more important that you understand what I'm going to explain to you today, the concept that I'm going to explain to you today, because it is what will ultimately help you to land consistent and predictable clients as a freight broker, freight agent, and to grow a highly profitable freight broker business. Okay. So about one more minute for those that want a chance to win the $50. Okay. You got to subscribe on Apple, rate and review. Now this is an honor system. I can't check whether you subscribed or rated, reviewed right now. Okay. I can't check it because we're doing this live. So it's an honor system. So I'm trusting that you're going to actually do it. Okay. So make sure you do it properly. And I'm going to pick one winner in about 60 seconds. Okay. So yeah, we've got a bunch of people that have done it. Let's see who we got. We've got Freight Management. Oh, wait, we got Tara Lynn Alexander subscribed. We've got D'Angelo 9876 who subscribed and rated, reviewed. We got Big Oso who subscribed and rated, reviewed. We got Diacre who subscribed and reviewed. We got Shay who subscribed. Tara Lynn, we do include some of the weekly trainings in that, but it's audio only format. And then we also include other content, right? Older content that I've created or separate content from webinars and private coaching, sessions and all those sorts of things. Okay. Jim subscribed, Mika subscribed. Okay, cool. All right. So let's do the giveaway. All right. Very cool. All right, here we go. I'm going to scroll down through the people that are in the feed and I'm going to randomly pick a winner for the $50 for the Apple subscribe. And then we're going to do another giveaway. And the winner is Shay Porter. Shay Porter subscribed on Apple. Now I'm going to hope that you're going to rate and review. Shay, I did pick you, so I'm counting on you to go on and rate and review. I just randomly picked a winner. So you're the winner of the first $50 giveaway. Here's what you got to do to claim your prize. This is all you have to do. Go to the Freight Broker Bootcamp Facebook page, okay? Not the group, the page, and message me your full name. Message me that you won the Apple subscribe for the podcast $50 contest. And then you have to send me your PayPal email and I will email you. I will PayPal you $50 in the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay. So let me repeat that. Go to the Freight Broker Bootcamp Facebook page, message me your full name and that you won the Apple subscribe, rate and review podcast contest for $50. And then you have to include your PayPal email and I will PayPal you $50 in the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay. So congratulations, Shay, for winning. Now let's do another quick giveaway. We got a few minutes left. All right. So for those of you that are on Android or any other operating system, okay, or for those of you that were already previously subscribed, okay, here's all you got to do. There's two things. If you are on Android, you can use the Google app or Spotify, many of which you guys probably use Spotify for listening to music. Go on to Spotify or the Google app and you can subscribe to the podcast there. So all you have to do is go and subscribe to the podcast and then click the share button on the podcast app and just share it on your social feed, whether that be on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever you want to share it. Okay. So go and subscribe and then share because you can't rate and review on Spotify and Google Podcasts. I don't know why they don't have that feature. I think it's kind of dumb. Apple, there's a reason why Apple's the leader in podcasting as far as people that listen to podcasts on Apple. So, so if you're on any other operating system than Apple, all you got to do is go to Spotify or Google Podcast, search for Freight Broker Bootcamp. You'll find the podcast, subscribe, and then click the share button. There's a way to share it. Just click share and then share it on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or Pinterest or wherever you want to share it. And then come back in and type in the replies below. You got to let me know that you subscribed on Spotify or Google and shared. You have to tell me that, okay? You subscribed on Google or Spotify and you shared the podcast, okay? You got to let me know that. If you don't let me know that, then I can't you don't have a chance to win. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to do that. All right. So you want to subscribe on Apple. Awesome. If you want a chance to win the $50 for this contest, you have to subscribe on Spotify or Google Podcast. Okay. Both of which are very popular apps. They're 100% free and they're very well known. Obviously, Spotify is probably where a lot of people listen to music. And so Spotify is a great place to go and subscribe. And then you can just share that on social right from your phone, right? So if you go into the podcast app itself, and you can click the share button, and it's going to give you a chance to share it on social, Facebook, whatever, LinkedIn, whatever social media apps you have set up on your phone, Twitter, you can share it right there. Okay. So that's all you got to do. All right. And then we are going to give away another $50. So we got about 2 more minutes. Okay. You got about 2 minutes in order to subscribe on Google or on Spotify, and then come back in and type in the comments and let me know that you subscribed and that you shared the podcast on social. Okay. Let me know where you shared it, Facebook or Pinterest or wherever. Okay. Now I'm going fast and I'm talking fast because I want to get this giveaway done, because we're going to jump into the training. And again, today, the topic that we're going to be covering is the number one reason why why most freight brokers suck at sales. Okay. That's what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to dish out a little tough love. Okay. We're going to give a little tough love today. And so that's it. All right, cool. So we got Army Co, who subscribed on Google and shared. Lakita, who subscribed on Spotify. We got Raymond, who subscribed on both. Awesome. Okay. All right, come on. Let's get a few more people in here. We got about 1 more minute to subscribe on Spotify or on Google. I know a lot of you guys are Android users, and you must have the Spotify app on your phone, because I'm sure you have the Spotify app on your phone. Everybody has Spotify. It's got to be the largest streaming, other than maybe Amazon, I guess. But yeah, search wherever you listen to podcasts, search for Freight Broker Bootcamp. I'm sure that it'll probably be there if it's a known app, but make sure you subscribe and share the podcast, and then let everybody know here. Let me know in the comments that you actually subscribed. Okay. You want to thank you for the 5-star rating and review. Appreciate it. All right. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to do the giveaway for the Spotify and Google. Here we are. Let me get to the part where everybody's subscribed. Okay, cool. All right. And here we are. The winner of the subscribe on Spotify and Google is Lakita Sassy Cole. Spotify subscribed and shared. Lakita, congratulations. You are the winner of $50. Thank you for playing along. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. And for anybody who's listening to the podcast, that's awesome. We have great reviews. We've got thousands and thousands of people downloading those episodes and listening. So I'm humbled and truly appreciative for all the support there. Lakita, to claim your $50, just do this. Go to the Freight Broker Bootcamp Facebook page and message me with your full name and that you won the Spotify subscribe and share contest for $50, and then include your PayPal email, and I will PayPal you $50 in the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay. That's all you had to do. It took you literally 15 seconds and you won $50. You can put that towards future trainings. You can put that towards Christmas gifts. You can put that towards Thanksgiving dinner. I don't care what you do with it. It's your money to keep. Thank you for everybody for playing along. And in about 1 minute, we're going to actually start the training. So I'm going to grab a quick drink, and then we are going to get the ball rolling. Okay. All right. In the meantime, how many of you are subscribed to my YouTube channel? How many of you are actually subscribed so you get notifications from my YouTube channel? I'm curious, because we're getting like 60, 70,000 views per month. We're getting probably another 1,500 to 2,000 new subscribers a month on the channel. I think we've got about 30 or 35,000 subscribers. It's growing like crazy. And we have amazing feedback from the YouTube channel. People love video, obviously, and we do a lot of this live and edited video content. So how many of you are subscribed on to my YouTube channel? Okay. So today, for those of you that are just joining me, it's 12 o'clock It's the time that we do these Freight Broker Bootcamp lives every Monday at noon Eastern time. Okay. For those of you that are joining me, thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments where you're logging in from. Hit me up with the city and state that you're logging in from. I'm in the Buffalo, New York area, specifically Clarence, which is a little suburb, a little farming kind of suburb outside of Buffalo. And let me know where you're logging in. I'll try to give a few shout outs before we start the training. And then we're going to do the training. And today, again, the topic is the number one reason why most freight brokers and freight agents suck at sales. And at the end of that, we're going to do some live Q&A. Now, that Q&A can be about the training we're doing today, or it can be about anything related to starting and growing a highly profitable freight broker business. Okay. So let's see who we got here today. We've got Savannah from San Antonio, Texas. Welcome. We got Val Eric from Santa Clarita, California. He's always here. Welcome, Val. We've got Raymond. We've got Andreas from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Welcome, Andreas. We got Mogi from Balkan. We got Mario from Fresno, California. We got Tracy from Susquehanna, PA. Thank you. We got Kirsten from Stroudsburg, PA. Awesome. So we got people coming in from all over. We got Monisha Fezia from Cartersville, Georgia. We've got Frank Furr from Bowie, Maryland. We got Derek Rice from Little Rock. We've got Derek Fletcher from Gilbert, Arizona. We've got Frank Navarro from Miami. We've got Keisha from Savannah, Georgia. We've got people from all over the place. It's really funny because sometimes we have people logging in from South America, Central America, Australia, Europe, Asia, UK, Canada. I mean, all over the place. It's funny when I do these lives, when we have people that pop in from all over the world, not just all over the US, but particularly the US. Obviously, we have a big group of people from California and from Texas and from Florida and from Georgia and from Illinois and New York. Those are very popular states here in the US. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. Truly appreciate it. Again, Norma from Edinburgh, Texas, Matt from Houston, Texas, Don Boswell from Indiana, PA, Joanna from North Augusta, South Carolina, CJ from Florence. Thank you so much. If I didn't give you a shout out this week, I apologize. Thank you so much for being here. I'll try to give you a shout out in a future episode, but I want to get to the training, and I hope you guys are excited because today I'm going to share with you the number one reason why freight brokers and freight agents suck at sales. Okay. And as you can see, I took a bunch of notes. I got a ton of notes here. Okay. That I got to go over today. So I'm going to share with you what I believe is the number one reason why freight brokers and freight agents suck in sales. And it all begins with tactics over systems. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by that. Most freight brokers and freight agents believe that if they just had the perfect sales script, that they would be successful. Some people believe that if they had the perfect cold email template that they could mail out to people or email out to people, they would be successful. Most people believe that tactics, one-off sales tactics are the secret to success in sales, whether you're selling freight brokerage or technology or real estate or insurance or whatever you're selling. Most people believe that tactics are the way to win, are the winning ingredients to sales. But I totally disagree. Tactics are a very small part and a component of what really drives sales, which is having a winning and proven sales system. Okay. So the difference between someone who is maybe an average freight broker or below average or startup and struggling, they focus on tactics. But the freight brokers and freight agents who earn the top 5% or the top income earners and have the biggest businesses and are growing really fast, they have winning sales systems. So I'm going to explain to you the difference. You know, again, that example I gave you about people asking me, do you have a sales script that I can use? Well, of course, but there are hundreds, if not thousands of variations of a sales script. Oh, do you have a cold email that I can use to send out to prospects so that they'll give me loads. Again, there's thousands of different ways to create that. What's more important that you understand is the strategy and the system behind winning in sales as a freight broker. So let me give you an example of my system, right? Now, most of you probably know by now that I've created what's called the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. That is my freight broker and freight agent sales training program. It's specific to freight brokerage and it's specific to sales only. So it's an advanced sales training program. And that's where I teach my winning and proven sales system. So rather than just teaching tactics, I teach an entire system, which is a suite of strategies and tactics combined that work in a winning system. So let me give you kind of a high level view of the difference between what a lot of people teach, which are these one-off strategies versus an actual sales system, right? So it all starts with mindset, right? You have to have a winning sales mindset. That's a part of this. That's not a tactic. That's a strategy. And that's part of my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator system is having a winning sales mindset. You got to start with your mindset, okay? Another component of it is filling your sales funnel, right? So you have to fill that funnel at the top with prospects so that you can have customers fall out the bottom, right? So that includes things like winning cold outreach formula and, creating a compelling sales hook and those sorts of things, right? Those sorts of components of filling your sales funnel, how to do the proper outreach, having a multi-touch point outreach strategy. Those are all part of having a winning sales system as it relates to filling your funnel. The next one is follow-up, right? We all know that the fortune's in the follow-up, but there's a right way to follow up. There's a wrong way to follow up. And it's not about having one-off tactic. It's understanding the overall strategy, the overarching strategy behind doing proper follow-up and how and where it fits into the sales system and the sales process, okay? So that's another example. Overcoming objections. This is another thing that people struggle with, right? In order to overcome objections, there's no individual script that's going to win the game consistently. You have to understand human psychology. You have to understand what the objections are and why the objections are there. And then you can formulate some messaging and some words, and I guess if you want to call it a script or a framework that you can use to overcome those common objections. Honestly, there's only 4 or 5 really common objections in freight brokerage, right? So if you learn how to do that, it makes your job so much easier. But can you see how there's an entire system here? It starts with mindset and then filling your funnel and then follow up and then overcoming objections. And then one of the next things is customer retention and growth. How do I retain the customer? I got the first load. How do I retain and grow that account? That's a very important component that nobody ever talks about. And it's not something that's intuitive. It's something that you have to understand. It's a part of this overall winning process, okay? And then the last component of it is how to leverage modern technology to enhance the sales experience, not only for you to convert a higher level of prospects that go into that funnel into customers, but to enhance the experience for your prospects and for your customers, right? So that's the example of having a winning sales system versus just having one-off tactics or scripts or templates, right? I get messages every single day from students and of Freight Broker Bootcamp and from people that watch my YouTube channels and people that find me online and asking me, what's the perfect sales script, or what is the sales script that I need in order to get customers? Or can you share with me the perfect email template that's going to help me to get customers? And the fact is, it doesn't exist. Okay. There is no perfect. What's more important is that you understand the overarching strategy and you incorporate that into a winning system. And that's the system that I designed at a high level is what I just went over with you now is a winning mindset and understanding how to fill your funnel and understanding how to do the proper follow-up and overcoming objections and customer retention and growth strategies and leveraging technology. That's a system that will create predictable, right, results for you in your efforts of growing a highly profitable freight broker or freight agency business. So the number one mistake that I see people making, and the number one reason why freight brokers and freight agents, most freight brokers and freight agents suck at sales, is because they're focused on one-off tactics versus having a winning sales system. Now that takes education, that takes time, that takes effort, that takes failure, that takes an investment of not only time and energy, but resources on your part. And after being asked literally hundreds and hundreds of times over the last decade to create a winning sales system training program, I launched my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program. I launched it last year. It was a huge success. It sold out twice. I limited the number of people that could go through the program. It sold out twice. And the reviews that we've gotten from the students, we asked them after the training program to rate their experience 1 to 10. And out of a 1 to 10 rating system, the average review was a 9.7, which is really insane. So I'm going to be launching that program very, very soon. So if you are a freight broker or you are a freight agent or you think you're ready for this more advanced sales strategy, what I'm going to suggest you do is get on the wait list, because I'm hoping to launch this very, very soon. All you got to do to get on the wait list is go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. Okay. If you go there, you're going to be able to get on the wait list. Now, all that, it's not going to guarantee you a spot in the program. And this is a paid program. It's not a free program. Okay. It's totally separate from Freight Broker Bootcamp. And it's, again, this is a very specific and advanced sales training program, but you will get notified as soon as I release it. I'm hoping to get it released here maybe in the next week to 10 days. Okay. So you would get notified immediately and get the first chance to enroll. Now, I promise you, this is going to sell out super quick. It sells out, and I'm going to limit it probably to 50, maybe max out at 100 people. Okay. But again, it is a paid program. You're going to have to invest. It's not cheap, but it's going to be worth more than 10 times whatever you invest in the program. I promise you that. I absolutely promise you. And it will have a money back guarantee. So if you're not happy, you'll be able to get your money back. So I'm going to release all those details very, very soon. So if you want to be able to get on the wait list and you want to get notified when I launch that program, check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. Now, that's for the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. If you're just getting started, right, and you are just looking to get started as a freight broker, freight agent, you need those early steps, those startup steps. My suggestion to you is to start with freightbrokerbootcamp.com. That's my online startup freight broker training program that I've trained over 10,000 students. I've had that program for over a decade. We have 100%, 100% unconditional money back guarantee for anybody if you're not happy with that program. It's been deemed the most cost-effective and comprehensive online startup freight broker training program available online. Okay. So you can always check that out at freightbrokerbootcamp.com. So if you want to be a part of the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, get on the wait list. If you want to be a part of the Freight Broker Bootcamp, just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com and you can check out all the details of how to enroll in that. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being here. Have an awesome day. And now, for everybody that wants to stick around for some Q&A, I'm going to do some Q&A. But hold tight on the questions for a second, because I think I'm going to have a couple questions for you first. So don't put your questions in the chat box yet. Okay. So I'm going to ask, how many people in the audience right now have enrolled in Freight Broker Bootcamp, my startup online freight broker training program? How many people in the audience right now have already enrolled in Freight Broker Bootcamp? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. All right. Let's see what we got. So again, Wendy's enrolled. How many others? Mr. 1203 is enrolled. Cyrus has completed it. So we got a bunch of people, right? We got Miki, we got Tim, we got Islam, you can see there's a whole bunch of people that are tuning in here that have already enrolled in Freight Broker Bootcamp. So if you're curious about becoming a freight broker or freight agent, again, we've trained over 10,000 students. We offer a 60 to 100% money back guarantee. The reviews are amazing. You can see here, there's a dozen or more people in the live feed right now that have already raised their hand and said they've been a part of that program. So, I just want you to understand, I can't make it any easier for you. If you're interested in that information, then check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you that are in the audience, this is going to be a much smaller number because I've had a much more limited group. How many of you have been enrolled in my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program? So the numbers are going to be much less because I've only launched that twice. I've had over 10,000 students in my Freight Broker Bootcamp program. I think in my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, I've only had, I don't know, it's like maybe 100 or 100, 150, something like that, total students that we've put through that program so far, because that program is much more of a coaching and mentoring program than just an online course. That's also why I have to charge a lot more for it. Okay. So how many of you have went through that program? Okay. So we got Cyrus has been a part of FBSA. I remember that. Derek went through FBSA. Nelson's went through FBSA. Awesome. We've got a whole bunch of people. So you can see here, if you were a part of FBSA, put FBSA so that people know that you were already a part of the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. Andreas went through it. Yep. I remember you, Andreas. You might've been through the original group. I think you were maybe the original cohort. I've only done it twice. I did it twice. Did I do it twice this year or last year? I think first one was maybe the end of last year. And then the second one was this year, right? I think that's what it was. Time flies. I can't believe it's going to be December soon, which is insane. Yeah. So you can see there's a whole bunch of people that have enrolled in FBSA. Okay. So if you are curious about that program and you're interested in learning more about the details of that program, of how my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program works, check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. It costs you nothing to get on the wait list, and you will be immediately notified as soon as the program releases. If you're lucky, if I'm lucky, if we're lucky, I'm going to be able to get that thing launched in the next week to 10 days. Okay. And that means you're going to be able to enroll, and then we're going to get that program rolling. Okay. And then we're going to get that program started, and you're going to be able to start the new year off on the right foot with an entire winning sales system versus just one-off strategies. Okay. All right. So let's go to some Q&A, guys. Who's got questions? Thank you, everybody, for responding, particularly the people that have been members of Freight Broker Bootcamp. Thank you so much. And for those of you that have invested in the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, I truly appreciate all your help and the goodwill and the kind words and the opportunity to work with you. So thank you so much for that. Let's jump into some Q&A. If you guys have questions, whether it be, I'm not going to be able to give you a whole lot of detail about the FBSA. I'll be able to give you some detail. I just explained to you in this training, basically the entire sales system at a high level. I mean, I didn't dive into all the details, but I gave you a high level walkthrough of what the sales system consists of. Or if you're curious about, getting started as a freight broker or freight broker sales or whatever it is. Keisha, where can I get a shirt from? I love it. Okay. Yeah. This is the infamous Freightpreneur shirt. Someone who solves problems you don't know you have in ways you can't understand. All right. So I've had people telling me for over a year now that I need to put up like a merch store. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have a Freight Broker Bootcamp merchandise store where I'd be selling shirts. Okay. I may do that in the new year because I get requests almost every single day, people that want this shirt. Now, for me, it's not going to be a money grab. There's not a lot of money in selling t-shirts. Okay. Unless you're going to sell millions of them. So the reality is I would just do it as kind of a courtesy for you guys. Right now, I don't have that store up and running. I do give these shirts away from time to time. So the only thing I can suggest to you, Keisha, is keep coming back to these lives. I've been giving away a lot more cash than shirts lately. Some people like cash more, but stay tuned. Please continue to be a part of the lives. And I do give away, I've given away over 100 of these shirts. Okay. Just given away for free as a part of contests. So thank you for being so kind and for your interest in the Freightpreneur shirt. All right. Okay. So here's a question from Cyrus. Getting to the magic 500 number on LinkedIn, quantity versus quality. Select target audience at first or random for first 500? Good question. Okay. So for some of you that aren't a part of the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator or did not take my no cold calling for Freight Brokers sales program, this may be a little bit foreign to you, but Cyrus is referring to my LinkedIn outreach and marketing strategies. And so on LinkedIn, there's a magic number of 500 contacts. Once you have 500 contacts in your network, because other people can't see how many contacts you have beyond that. But if you have less than that, kind of the perception is sometimes that you're brand new and that you don't have a lot of influence, right? Or that you're not well known, or you don't have a great reputation, or you don't have a lot of experience, right? If you don't have a lot of contacts, some people will look at that as a negative. So my suggestion to you is for your first 500, my suggestion is get to the 500 number as quick as you can through your personal contacts, and then through the groups and through the networks that you run into during your normal day-to-day activity. I don't think you should wait and make them all specific prospects. I think getting to that 500 number has value in just building an overall network. And here's why. Because let's say, for example, Cyrus, that you connect with your cousin who's in the IT field, okay, and nothing to do with manufacturing or shipping, or couldn't be a prospect, but he's your cousin and he's in the IT field. But he has a close friend he went to college with who is the logistics manager, who he's connected with, who's the logistics manager for a well-known company in your niche. If you're connected to your cousin as a first level connection, you are now inherently connected to his cousin or to his friend, his college roommate, as a second level connection. So there's a value in being connected. It's kind of that old adage of kind of the Kevin Bacon effect, the 7 degrees of separation. So because you and I are connected on LinkedIn, you are also a second level connection of all my connections, which gives you the ability to view their profile, and any content that you engage with, any content that you post on LinkedIn, they will have an opportunity to see it in their feed. But if you weren't connected with me, nobody in my network would have a chance to really see you or know who you are. Okay. So that's the high level example. So my suggestion is just get to the 500 as quick as you can. The more targeted, the better, but don't wait until you have 500 exact prospects connected with. I mean, front load it and start feeding that algorithm and start feeding the network so that you have the 6 degrees of separation, the Kevin Bacon effect. Okay. Because I think that'll be more valuable long-term. And for those of you that are curious about what I'm talking about, you absolutely need to get on the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator wait list. Okay. Because we go into a lot more depth. As a matter of fact, I included my entire No Cold Calling for Freight Brokers course in that as a bonus one time. Okay. So, all right. Dr. J. Cooper. Okay, so Dr. J. Cooper asks, can you start your business off with only agents versus doing sales yourself? The answer is you can, but I don't recommend it. And here's why. Because let's run the scenario. You're going to be a startup freight brokerage with a brand new motor carrier authority, or with a brand new broker authority, with no customers and no experience and no systems that are proven for building a profitable freight brokerage. That's over here. Okay. And you're going to go out and try to recruit, let's say, experienced agents or inexperienced agents to try to build your business. That's a very difficult proposition, particularly if you're trying to recruit experienced agents or people with a book of business. Nobody's going to want to do business with you because you don't have a whole lot of value to offer. Having your broker authority is just not that big of a deal, and it's not that difficult. You need to be able to have a product, meaning your business, that caters to freight agents. So let me explain to you what I did. When I started my freight brokerage back in 2003, for the first 3 years, all we did was build our own customer base. I was the head of sales, and then I hired other people in, and we built a company. Before I hired my first agent, I think we were already doing over $6 million a year in sales. Now, why did I do that? I did that, number one, because I needed to understand what it took to actually get customers and grow a profitable business. I also needed to develop my systems, including billing, including my technology, including collections, including vetting carriers, including all the systems that I needed in order to have a viable product and a reputation and a brand that would allow me to go out and do outreach and recruit experienced agents. So then we started bringing on agents. At first, we brought on everybody. Okay. We would bring on anybody who could fog a mirror. Okay. But then after a while, we realized that we were much better product for people who had experience in a book of business. So we niched down into recruiting those companies. We became one of the largest agent-based brokerages in the country. Okay, definitely top 10, maybe top 5. Okay, from a revenue perspective, probably top 5 from a revenue perspective, from an agent-based brokerage. So that's how we did it. I believe that as a new broker, personally, I believe you should go out and start building your own book of business. And then you should add agents after you've built that book and after you've built your systems and you've built your infrastructure. Because without that, you really don't have a whole lot of education, a whole lot of understanding, or a product that really is viable for an agent, whether they're experienced or not. So that's my 2 cents. Now, you can dispute that. You can argue with that. Anybody can. And there are probably people that have went out there and just started with the agent model and didn't get it and had a little bit of success. But statistically speaking, right, I think that you're going to find a lot more success if you take the approach that I took early on, which is building that business. And you don't necessarily have to wait 3 years. Maybe you do it for 6 months and you start getting some customers and you start invoicing, you start collecting, you start getting some positive cash flow. You put your TMS in place. You got all your load boards. You got your systems. You got your carrier vetting and all that streamlined process is set up. And then you can go out and recruit some agents. That would be my suggestion to you. So I hope that helps. Good question, though. Thank you for asking. Islam, I'm assuming, are you talking about Bootcamp or are you talking about the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator? The Bootcamp is not a live training program. That is all recorded. That's it's a hybrid program. It's a combination of articles, videos, contracts, forms, and tools like website templates and shipper and carrier database. It's a much more comprehensive overall program, but it is not live. Now, the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program is also a hybrid program, but it is led by me live in a 5-week coaching and mentoring program. So it's designed to be a 5-week coaching mentoring program where I actually coach and mentor the group live, as well as support them with an online training program that's behind the scenes that they can use to study before and after all of our live sessions. So yeah, the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, the reason why it's a lot more expensive, the reason why I have to limit it to a much lower number is because it is designed to be a live program, okay, where I'm actually coaching and mentoring that group one-on-one as a group, okay? So we get in there once a week, and anybody who has questions, I bring them up on Zoom, and we talk about those questions live, one-on-one. And then the group gets to hear all that, so they benefit from that engagement as well. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. I'm scrolling through. Just let me find a question. Congrats, Frank. You got everything set up, just looking for customers to move your first load. Great. So hope you're a part of the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program. If not, put your sales hat on, spend 90% of your time focusing on doing outreach and contacting freight brokers or customer shippers in your niche, and I'm sure you'll do great. I will try. I'm not going to have to buy 1,000 shirts. The shirt, honestly, if I sold this shirt, I'd probably sell it for $20. I'm not going to sell it expensive, right? It's going to have to do all the basics, but yeah, it's not going to be expensive if I do end up opening a merch store for people to get access to it. It would save me a whole bunch of time because I would just be able to direct people there and they'd be able to buy it. So likelihood is I will do that in the new year. But right now I'm focused on the Sales Accelerator. So it's not going to happen this month for sure. All right, I'm scrolling through. Hey, God, the WordPress, if you're having an issue with the WordPress template, hit us up in the support at Freight Broker Bootcamp, and we'll work with you there to try to help you through that, okay? Natasha, the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program, we opened it twice. I opened it twice. We went through two cohorts earlier in the year. It's going to open up again, I'm hoping, in the next week to 10 days. So that's why you need to be a part of the wait list, freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. You will get notified. You're going to get a text, okay? And that text is going to say, we're open, click here to get enrolled. The first, and it's going to be limited spots. Because we're coming around the holidays, I'm probably going to limit it to 50 people, okay? I'm probably going to limit it to 50 people in that group. And if you're not one of the first 50 to get enrolled, I can't help you. You'll have to wait till the next cohort, which could be 3 to 6 to 9 months down the road. I don't know. It depends on my schedule. Okay. So yeah, so that's what I'm letting everybody know now, that it's going to be launching very soon. And if you want to get notified, as soon as it launches, you're going to get a text and you'll be able to click the link, enroll, and boom, now you're a part of the program. Okay. So good question. Thank you for asking. Yep, we're still working on it. It's almost released. So everybody who's curious, wants to be a part of the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, I'm glad to see so many people are interested in it. Again, it's not a free program. I'm just letting you know, last time I sold the program for $1,000, and I told myself and told everybody that the price was going to go up the next time. So there's a very good chance it's going to be $1,000 or more. I'm not doing that to scare you away. I'm doing that because I want to keep it real and be honest. But when you see the program, what's included in the program, and you see the value of what one customer could generate for you, it's literally a 10x return on investment. Okay. So I promise you, it's not a free program. It's not a cheap program, but it'll be worth more than 10x whatever you invest in it. Okay. So get on the wait list. Islam, I have included the no cold calling program in the past. I don't know if I'm going to include that as a bonus this time. I don't have specific details on that. Okay, so here's a question from Latino Wolf Trucker. Starting as a broker agent, do you have to use the name of the broker you're signed to, or can you use your own company name? Okay, good question. This is a question I get quite frequently. So you can use your own name when you're marketing and selling your services, but it does create some confusion. And here's why. Because let's say, for example, I call you and I say, hey, my name is Dennis Brown from ABC Logistics, and we do XYZ, and you say, we build some rapport and you're interested, and we get to the point where you start giving me freight, or you want me to do freight quotes. And then all of a sudden I send over a setup packet and a credit app and everything you need with the broker authority, and it says another company's name on it. Okay. That creates some confusion. And what I want you to understand, I want you to remember this phrase: a confused mind makes no decisions. Pay attention. A confused mind makes no decisions. So you want to create less confusion as a part of this process, particularly when you're doing sales outreach, anything to do with sales or marketing. Okay. So my suggestion to you is, as an agent, if you're working under a broker, so it's ABC Logistics is the parent broker that you're working under, when you do outreach via email or via phone or any of your communications, you leverage their brand to create that consistency and to prevent any sort of confusion. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. There's a Facebook user that says he got a 300% return, 300% return on investment from the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for today with questions. I hope this made sense to you. One-off sale, the training today was the number one reason why most freight brokers or freight agents suck at sales. And that is they focus on one-off sales tactics that they think are going to win the game and help them build a highly profitable freight broker business, when in reality, you need the overarching strategy and a winning sales system, which is exactly what I put together with Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. So for those of you that are curious about becoming part of the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, get on the wait list, okay, for the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. If you don't think you're ready for that and you just want to do the startup training and get your feet wet, much lower investment, fully supported, trained over 10,000 students, check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com. We have that entire program there as well. Appreciate everybody for being here live. I'll be back live every Monday at noon for these trainings. Again, we did not charge any. You didn't see a paywall to come into this training. So do me a favor right now. Before you hang up, before you click away, click the like button wherever you're listening to this. Click it right now. Do it. Click it now. And then click the share button. Okay. And particularly if you're on Facebook, share the stream. Share it on your stream. Share it in one of the freight broker or freight agent or trucking or logistics groups that you're a part of. Do me a favor and share the word. Spread the word and let people know. That's the price of admission. I didn't charge you to come in here today. I offered you what I think is an incredibly valuable training. I answered a lot of your questions, particularly for those people that I answer the questions for. Make sure you share the stream, whether you share it on Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or whatever social network you want to share it. Please share the stream. Let other people know about these Freight Broker Bootcamp Lives. Thank you so much for being here. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome week. And I'll see you next week.